Jason will sit at the slot machine for what feels like days at a time. He'll have some wins, but always, by the end of the session, he goes completely broke. He'll often gamble not only his savings, but also max out his credit lines and even borrow money from friends and family to keep the rush going. On numerous occasions, Jason has created months' worth of debt for himself sitting in front of a machine for just a few hours. But hey, the next spin could be the big one, right, Jason? Leo. Leo too would spend many days drinking cheap beer and gambling on everything possible in the casino to the point where he went broke. But after many months of the same cycle playing out, Leo determined that something needed to change, or else he would always wind up with the same outcome. Leo made the tough choice to leave gambling behind and is now nearly 1 year clean from his addiction. Today we're going to discuss a question that could be relevant to many of us. Did you often gamble until all of your money was gone? We'll explore why this behavior is a major red flag for gambling addiction and discuss the signs, consequences, and ways to seek help. Not everyone is addicted to gambling, but anyone can become addicted. That's why I'm here. My name is Rob, and I'm a recovering compulsive gambler. I made my last bet on November the 12th of 2022, and since then, I've made it my personal mission to help you to learn the truth about gambling and to get into recovery for a gambling addiction faster than I did, if you want to quit. Through my own experience, I've learned a lot about the warning signs of a gambling addiction, and I wanted to share them with you. But before we begin, I want you to smash that subscribe button if you want to leave the chaos of gambling behind, or if you want to become better educated about the risks that gambling poses. Now, to start, let's paint a picture of the situation we're discussing. Imagine that you're at a casino, or playing an online slot machine. You have a set budget, but instead of stopping when you've reached the limit, you keep going, chasing your losses, and before you know it, your wallet is completely empty. This pattern can obviously be incredibly destructive financially, but also destructive emotionally. Gambling until all your money is gone is a very obvious sign of a gambling addiction. This behavior is part of a vicious cycle. You start by placing bets, hoping to win and recover your losses, only to end up losing more. This leads to a feeling of desperation and the need to gamble even higher amounts. It's an endless loop, and understanding why it happens is crucial to addressing the issue. Jason will place a small bet and lose, so he'll double it. Then he'll double it again. And then somehow within 30 minutes, he's standing in front of the ATM, getting ready to make yet another withdrawal to continue chasing. Leo, on the other hand, knows that he would do the exact same thing if he were in the casino, which is why he filled out a self-exclusion form and no longer gambles at that casino or at any casino. He recently just started a successful new business venture with his best friend, something he would have had no time or money for if he were still gambling. The consequences of a gambling addiction can be devastating. Not only can it lead to financial ruin, but it can also take a toll on your mental and emotional well-being. Relationships very well may crumble, and your overall quality of life can deteriorate rapidly. It is a downward spiral that can be hard to escape without an intervention of some kind. When I was gambling, I was not present in the moment at all, especially if I was down money on that day. My mind was constantly shuffling as I was thinking of the next way that I could get money to keep placing bets. I would even run off to the bathroom to check scores of the games that I had gambled on and would stress out over every single point of the game, even if I was out with friends or on a date. Jason finally got himself a date. But the night that he was supposed to go out with her, he was at the casino beforehand and was currently on a downswing. While chasing his losses and eventually going broke, he had forgotten all about his date, and he left her hanging at the restaurant they were supposed to meet up at. It's pretty safe to say that he won't be going on another date with her. Leo. Leo too was guilty of leaving those he cared about hanging in favor of continuing to gamble in the past, especially if he was on a losing streak. To make up for that, he makes sure that he is extra present in the moment when spending time with friends and family. Now, he's not missing dates, and he's not going broke. A much better outcome objectively. If you or someone you know is struggling with a gambling addiction, it is absolutely essential that you seek help. There are several options available, including support groups. Joining a support group such as a 12-step program can provide a network of understanding. People who face similar challenges are going to be in those rooms, and what worked for them could very well work for you. Therapy, professional counseling or therapy can help address the underlying causes of addiction and help you to develop coping mechanisms and strategies for recovery. Self exclusion programs. Many casinos and gambling platforms offer self exclusion options, allowing you to ban yourself from participating for a specified period. If you're ever filling one of those out, pick the longest period possible. Financial counseling. Seek assistance to regain control of your finances and prevent further damage. Ultimately, one of the most crucial aspects of overcoming a gambling addiction is self awareness. Recognizing the problem and acknowledging that you need help is the very first step to getting better. It's not a sign of weakness, it's actually a sign of strength to confront the issues that you have in your life head on. Jason is not willing to come to terms with the fact that anything that he is doing is wrong. He is destined to spend the next few years riding the roller coaster of ups and downs that comes with a gambling addiction, eventually gambling himself into ruin. Leo knows that if he was to go back to gambling, he'd give up everything that he's managed to build in this last year. He likes his life now, and he has no intention of putting himself back into the position that he was just in a few months ago. Leo's gotten himself off the hamster wheel of addiction, and you can too. Gambling until all your money is gone is indeed a possible sign of a gambling addiction. It's a behavior that can have severe consequences, but there is hope for recovery. The key is to seek help, whether it's through that support group, whether it's through therapy, or through other resources, and to remember that you're not alone in this journey. If you or someone you know is struggling with a gambling addiction, do not hesitate to reach out for assistance. The question asked at the beginning, did you often gamble until all of your money was gone, is one of the 20 questions often used by 12-step support group programs to determine if someone has a gambling problem. Answering yes to several of these questions may indicate a gambling problem of some nature or even a gambling addiction, and I'll be diving into the rest of them in upcoming videos, so make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss those. If you're ready to start the process of recovery but you aren't quite sure where to look to get started, check out the description below, where I've linked a free PDF guide that's filled with resources to help you start your recovery journey today. Remember, gambling should be a form of entertainment, not a path to financial ruin and emotional distress. So, if you're treating it anything like I was, it's time to leave the ways of Jason behind and start to be more like Leo. All of that happens one day at a time.